Barak Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rahakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, teach well with sincerity, honesty, and integrity. Brothers laboring in this truth, putting their life on the line, especially in these times. Salutations to you brothers and you sisters who believe in this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Right? Have you been paying attention? You know the climate of the people right now. You know, this being, you know, this whole Carmelo Anthony and his trial, and then the young black kid who was shot down by the Chinese man, so-called Chinese man, I think, you know, Asian man, I would say, is causing a stir amongst the people. You see, starting with the whole, you know, Carmelo Anthony and this other kid, whether, you know, which perceive, right, to look like an Edomite, has riled up the Edomites, man. And riled up Jake. Yeah, man. So, you know, however you feel about that situation, or I mean, how it went down, or if you believe he deserved it, that's neither here or there. The point is, you know, people are showing who they really are, right? And that in these race wars, this division is becoming more and more. What's a good word? Well, just a lack of a better word. I had a word, but I'll use this word. It's more and more. It's happening more and more. It's happening more and more, man. People are being divided more and more. You got the race wars. You got the gender wars. You got socioeconomic wars, right? You know, the wealthy and the poor, right? There's a lot of division, especially here in America. And the Lord is setting it up, man. The Lord is setting up. You know, when you go into, let's grab this real quick. Matthew, you know, going Matthew 24 and verse 12 and reads, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Right? Let's read it in the NLT. It reads, sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of money will grow cold. The love of many, Salakia, will grow cold, right? But that's what's happening, man. People are at the end of their wits. They're fed up. You know, you have people that they call white fatigue, black fatigue, all types of terms that people are throwing out there. But it's always been a thing, all right? It's always been a thing how Esau felt about Jake. You know, they can mask it, they can hide it. In certain areas, you at work, you know, Esau gonna act like he's your buddy, but when all hell break loose, everybody's gonna, matter of fact, let's get that, it's gonna resort back to their kind, right? And their true nature is gonna show. What was in there? See, I mean, like, damn. Let's see. Let's see. Let's try this. Sorry, Slacker. Sorry. One more. Yeah. Well, you put it in the chat to read this, but everybody's gonna resort back to their kind, who they are. All right. You know, but this is an old hatred, man. This is an old hatred going all the way back to the book of Genesis. Let's grab it. Genesis 27 and 41, it reads, and Esau hated Jacob, right? And Esau is the progenitor of the so-called white man, right? And Jacob is the progenitor of the so-called black, Spanish, Native American, those that are scattered abroad, right? And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. You see? So that's an old, long hatred going all the way back into the beginning, going back into Esau and Jacob, man. You see? That spirit in Esau, that hate for his brother, is always going to be there. So this is only stirring up the true emotions in Esau. You see? These events, you have people who literally, the elder, and that's what I'm bringing this also as well, the elder, Menachem Zakbar out of GMS, South Carolina, he did a video on it. Yeah, people had a collage of videos on how much they hate Jake, how much they hate the so-called Latin, the Spanish, right? Esau, Edom, hate Jacob, man. Hate the so-called black man, hate the so-called Spanish people, right? They hate Jacob, man. And as we get closer to the end, more and more Edomites is going to show their true colors. All right, because that's that perpetual hatred. All right, Ezekiel 35, verse 5 gets to the straight. Because thou has had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, all right, and this is being, talking to Mount Seir, going into Esau, all right, by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. All right. So they're gonna get their just due, but they always had a perpetual hatred towards Israel, man. Esau always had a perpetual hatred, man. So you're gonna continue to see that sword being furbished, being sharpened, right? Because that's what the Lord used them as. Right, the Lord used them to be that sword to, against Jake, so Jake can get it right. But they furthered the affliction. They overdone it, and sometimes the Lord will put it in your spirit so He can judge you, like He did Pharaoh. He hardens Pharaoh's heart so He can judge him. So His name can be known through the judgments He execute, man. So when He bring down Esau, Edom, the last standing boss, you would per se, right? The Edomite empire is going to be the last empire, right? When Jacob's the beginning of Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it, right? So Esau is going to be the last standing boss, right? And it's going to be marvelous, man. But see, that's that perpetual hatred because they lost the blessing. Well, and it wasn't meant for theirs through the spirit anyways. But, Esau gave away his birthright and said, I'm going to pursue Jacob as long as I live. You see, that's that perpetual hatred. That's that long-lasting, hate, that he has for Jake, man. That's why that's all he do is figure out how he can destroy Jake, man. He accomplished a diligent search, figuring out what Jake's into and how he can, have them go against the law, statute, commandments by having them eating pork, mixing up their fat, doing so much so they can be further away from their power, right? But it was all, when you go on Psalms 83, it says, cut them off from their remembrance, right? So this was all prophesied to happen because when you're going back into Deuteronomy 28, we, disobeyed the Lord, right? And the laws and the statutes and commandments that would keep us above all which kept us, because we are above all nations regardless, but would keep us in order with the Lord and keep us in good standard with the Lord, that would made us above, made us above all nations, a sight to be seen above all nations, because we was that special nation. We are that special nation. Now we are that special nation unto the Lord, but the Lord had turned his back on us, man, Yahweh. So he sent his only begotten son to be that intercession, to intercede for us, to speak up on our behalf, right? And that was love. He sent his only begotten son for the on the behalf of Israel, because he loves us. All right, but yeah, man. But Esau will get his just due. The controversy of Zion. He that touches the apple of my eye. You see, so the Lord is going to destroy this man, but he's doing his job, right? Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. You see, so the Lord creates evil. The Lord creates evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it. So the Lord is doing this to us, and he's using his whipping stick, which is Esau Edom, to do it to us. But Esau Edom is he's in a fucked up situation, because he's going to be judged. Excuse my French, that's for lack of a better words. Because he's going to be judged for what he done. It's the Lord who made him do it, right? And it reads, "For men which are." See, from men which are thy hand, O Lord, right, to that left hand, O Lord, from men of the world which have their portion in this life, in whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure, they are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes, right? And that's Esau Edom, man. That breaks down Esau Edom to a T. You see? These Edomites, man, get to see their children go off to college, die old, for the most part. Jake, man, they going through it, man. They going through it. You see, that was that sword that the Lord used, right? Let me get into this, right? Let me get this. When you go into that, you got to bring this out. Revelation 6:4. And there went out another horse that was red, okay? Esau Edom. And power was given unto him. Power was given to him that sat therein. So power was given to this man from the Lord. We just read, disappoint him, the wicked which is in thy hand, right? So the Lord is the one wielding this ultimately this sword, right? Because it's in the hand of the Lord, right? And the reason power was given to him that sat therein, to take peace from the earth, all right? And that's what he does, man. Nothing is right, man. You had bishops going into it yesterday, man. They destroyed land. They destroyed everything they touched, man. That's why this man gotta go. You see? And his job is to pursue Jake, man. That's where he has that long-lasting hatred towards Jake, man. All right? And it reads, to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. All right, so it was a great sword that's given unto him. All right, that's what this man is a man of he's the man of weapons of mass destruction. You see, you want to blame that on other people, but he is that man of weapons of mass destruction. You see, that's what he's going to use that sword. You go back into that dragon being Wroth, Wroth with the women, talking about the nation of Israel, that dragon going into the ancient Roman Empire. But, this is Rome 2.0, but who's going back into the Edomites being in rulership? Esau Edom again having that disdain for Jake, man. You see, that hatred. And it's only going to show more and more as we get closer to the end, man. They're going to go back to who they really are, man. They're going to show it. And you're going to see more and more race wars, more and more talks of people, especially Edomites talking about how much they have, black fatigue and shit like that. Yeah, man. Just wanted to touch on that, man. This is not something new. And it's going to be it's only going to show, it's going to only get worse, But Pray this lesson was edifying. The point was made. Pray that it was edifying. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, watch and be sober. Continue to be vigilant, because your adversary, which is the devil, is like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. All right, so stay on your watch, man.